Hello everyone and welcome back to the newest episode of Casting My Climb. I'm Alenvil, as always, your lovely caster. So let's get into the game. On the Radiant team we have the Dragon Knight, who's going to be the offlaner. Lion is going to be the position 5 support. Akira is going to be the position 4 support if I remember correctly. Sniper is the mid laner, and Naga Siren is the position 1. On the Dire team we have Silencer, who's the position 4 support, Earthshaker, who is the offlaner, Husker, who is the mid laner, Phantom Assassin, who's gonna be the position 1, and Io, the position 5 support. So, see how this one develops out of this one. Because I'm playing Naga Siren, which is a bit of an interesting thought process, to be honest, about the whole playstyle, but I decided to do this because I needed the I needed a bit of the marks that you kind of want, the tickets you want to have, and Naga Siren has been one of the characters I do really find interesting to play with, but I rarely do that because the teams sometimes don't really give you the best of room to do that. Naga Siren can 1v9 technically, but it's a bit of a very rough situation. Problem was, in this game I had to pick in the first phase because my supports didn't really want to pick up. Earthshaker beats me out there with the fissure. Does take a bit of damage, but not really much about that one. I did take level 1 the illusions, the mirror image, so that's going to be another part about this one. As I said, it's kind of like a bit of a rough one with Earthshaker being the opponent for Naga Siren, which is one of the best counters, to be honest, for the Naga Siren, because Fissure does a lot of damage, and Echo Slam is one of the most important things. The Aftershock goes over the illusion, so it does bounce quite heavily, so that can create a lot of problems. So that's something to keep a big mind about, because that's going to be a big part of this one, really. It's not, as I said, not the easiest way to handle this, really. Right now we do see the Io of Phantom Assassin. Oh, Fire Breath first for the Jakiro. That's a bit of an awkward one, I think. Yeah, he has nothing. Dual Breath, but has no... That's a bit of a weird one. I would have thought the Liquid Fire would have been the first pickup there, because... Well, you do have the dual breath, you don't really have the fire you want to put down. I mean, he does get it for those hits, but Phantom Assassin's getting pressured quite nice out of the lane. Io's courier goes down immediately. That's a big play, to be honest about that. Because Io would like to use the courier as much as possible. Lion goes with a good Earth Spike there, but not really much about that one. Taking a bit of mana off the Earthshaker. Shaker is doing what he can, really. I know. This is kind of like the other part about it, really, right now. Naga Siren and Earthshaker have kind of like an even lane. It's more about the team fight later on and fights later on where Naga Siren really gets the problems with cost of Fairy Fire for that one. Husker versus Sniper. I don't really think that Sniper has a good matchup versus Husker, because Sniper doesn't like characters that can gap close him, and Husker can do that pretty well with his ult later on, but right now, and the Burning Spears are pretty much a big rough play for the Sniper there. Right now we're kind of focusing more on the top side of the map because I think that most is going on there. You do see that my Naga Siren is not going badly with the last hits right now, getting quite high up there already. It takes a bit of damage there, but as I said, it's really kind of like this phase in the game. We got mid-game where the Husker will really kind of balance out here. Oh, Fairy Fire from the Dragon Knight. They're still going for the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's dropping pretty low. Tower shots go in there. It's a kill for the Phantom Assassin, which is a pretty good position to be in, but the tower does finish that one off. Io is alone left there. But yeah, a big part about this one is Sniper can now pressure the Husker. If Sniper does enough here, does force a Fairy Fire there as well, so that's another good point about this one. The Husker can keep forcing, like, the sniper can keep forcing the Husker into a bad position, could be really good. Jakiro's trying to take this one, but unfortunately the Phantom Assassin is going to come around here. Dragon Knight is pretty far away. Jakiro's trying to do what he can, so that's going to be a Lotus into the hands of the Phantom Assassin. Jumps on top of the Jakiro. He has no opportunity to get out of that one. But Dragon Knight is left alone here. Phantom Assassin putting more pressure on top of this one. Io bouncing around and giving some more pressure out. But yeah, this is the thing. Sniper can, for now, push the Husker a bit out of the lane. But it's later on going to become a bigger issue towards the game. Naga Siren leading with the farm, which is really the position you want to be if you're the Naga Siren. You really want to lead here. The farm, because this is the thing that you can really do with Phantom Assassin. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a farm game, no question about it, but the Phantom Assassin can bounce out of the lane pretty early on with, I think I did it like level 3-4, pick up the mirror images, get a bit of damage in there, go back onto the lane, pick up the farm, there again, come back in, pick up the farm. That's where you really want to be. Oh, half the net actually at that level. I thought I had level 2 mirror images and then the Riptide, but no, I actually have the net one. But it's a good stun still going on. Earthshaker's taking quite a bit of damage actually out of this one, but yeah, basically that's kind of how you want to play it. Stun onto the Phantom Assassin. I was trying to sustain the Phantom Assassin as much as possible. I'm surprised if I look at the Earthshaker still going for a chase, gets hit, gets put in there as well. So I'm a bit surprised about the IO, to be honest. I would have suspected the IO to actually have the urn going up pretty early to give a bit more sustainability, which I feel like would be a big play about this one. And I think so this is episode 10, so episode 11 will be the, no, actually this is episode 9. Episode 10 will be the first character we see for a second time in this game, in this series, which I feel like is kind of a good spot to be in right now. Earthshaker bring himself into position, Lion wrapping around as well. They do clear out the ward, a bit of a stun there. Not really much so the Naga Siren is in a pretty good position, let's be honest about this one completely here. You see Phantom Assassin getting pressured out quite a bit here. Jumps on top of the Jakiro. Jakiro is taking quite a bit of damage. Phantom Assassin committing further. Gets stunned up there. This is now the chance where Io kind of has to get the tether back on there. But Phantom Assassin's dropping slowly and goes down to the Dragon Knight. That's another pickup. 6 minutes in 2-2 right now. And a bit of 1,000 gold. Bit under 1,000 gold lead for this Radiant team. Which is kind of an interesting spot to be in. Husker, I gotta look at this right now. Husker has gone pretty deep there. Sniper has to be very careful. Husker has level 6. He could go for the life break completely on that one. Right now we are in the bot lane still going on here. We do see the Naga Siren is dropping pretty low. Goes down there. Does take the illusions do take down the silencers, so it's a 1-for-1 trade there. Does give an advantage because now the Naga Siren is a bit off the board, and that could actually benefit because you can look at this completely. The Naga Siren is pretty high up in the last that's already here. 6 ahead of the Earthshaker there. Husker has kind of pushed the sniper out of the lane, and I mean it makes a lot of sense because you don't really want to fight the Husker as a sniper at level 6 because I would say actually this is the point where the Husker can actually try to take over the game to give Phantom Assassin's a bit of room to go about this one. Urn is going to come up soon for the IO, and we jump on top of the Dragon Knight. Quite a bit of damage. There is not a level 6 yet. Stun there. The overcharge is coming through, but a lot of damage from the Dragon Knight there. Phantom Assassin is dropping pretty low. IO's not looking too good either, but that's kind of like the situation that's going on here. And it's so funny. You see here, they have vision on this Naga Siren doing her thing here, but they're not disrupting that in any way, shape. Io's taking still a bit of damage. Phantom Assassin now jumps on top of the Jakiro. Jakiro answers. Io is still half HP. You gotta be careful about this one completely right now. Earthshaker tries to get in there, gets a little enchant totem there down, but not much about that otherwise. Snipers coming around there. Io is pretty low still to take a few shots, and Io is dropping pretty low. Husker's gonna come in there. The shot coming through gets the Io, but immediately Husker jumped on top of there and gets on top of the Sniper. Sniper taking a lot of damage. There is the spear, but not enough there. Husker is going for the fear and still dies off there. So he did get the inner fire, silenced them a bit, and I am surprised how well that went. There's still a bit of aggression here in the bot lane. Pretty much the Naga Siren is just going to look to create as much room as possible for herself, because that's really what you got to do as a Naga Siren. There are two options to go for in this game, and I kind of decide against one of them, because there's of course the Radiance route you can go for. It feels okay most of the time, because you kind of get an early item spike, you can kind of really create some havoc and everything. Your illusions are a bigger threat. There's the Echo Slam on top of the Siren. Siren is taking quite a bit of damage. Actually, that was an interesting play. I didn't realize at the time that I did that, but that's a play I didn't realize I did. It was kind of funny. Oh, there's the enchant totem. They're still gonna go for this one. Meanwhile, Sniper's getting jumped by Husker. Husker's just got on top of him, and he has no opportunity to get out of that one and gets taken out. I didn't realize that I mirror imaged in the time where the fissure came down so to not get stunned. That is a play I didn't realize during the game, honestly, but nicely done. Macropie comes out of there. Phantom Assassin's dropping pretty low, burning, and that's going to be a down play. The two dragons take down the assassin there. No questions asked. So what I'm going to go for is going to go for the Manta style, create a bit more illusion so I can keep up the Riptide, because the Riptide is one of the strongest things that really the Phantom Assassin has. I'm going to go for the Riptide, because Riptide is just pretty strong. If you look at what Riptide really does, it reduces the armor, it does a good amount of damage. It's going to be one of the most upgrades that's going to be put in level 10 immediately, so that's kind of like what you really want to go for if you're on the Naga Siren. But I'm gonna go, as I said, more illusions creates more Riptide hits, because Riptide is now based on what you get. Oh, but meanwhile there's the Phantom Assassin, gets on top of them. The overcharge does quite well. There's silence now on to Dragon Knight, but the Dragon Knight still puts the Phantom Assassin down, and that is not the way you want to go. Husker tried to go for a dive in the bot lane and failed that one completely as well, and Silencer goes down as well, and that was not the fight you want to take if you are this Dire team. Naga Siren picks up the Husker, who was a strong hitter on their team, still underneath the Naga Siren, but that's because the Naga Siren has been farming pretty nicely, and you can see this once again, picking up the camp, going around, still going everything. Still a bit inefficient right now, which I do amend later on, funnily enough. Oh, Husker's going to look for more here. He wants to get on top of this Dragon Knight. Gets on top of the Dragon Knight. Goes for the Flame Break. Dragon Knight is probably dead already. Macropie comes out of that. This could cost the Io his life. But the Io barely holds on there. Husker is sustaining himself quite nicely, but not enough yet. Jakiro gives a bit of a hit there. Husker's still alive, and unfortunately the Jakiro goes down there as well. This is the point where I'm like, okay, I would love to go the Radiance build, but no. The team is too even right now. It's not the play you really want to go about. You kind of have to keep an eye out for this one completely. That's another part that you really have to think about in this game right now. Sniper is just moving around, getting pressured out quite a bit, which is a bit of an awkward situation, because Naga Siren just kind of wants to just find the farm here, and she's doing a good enough job really doing that. Oh, that's a Finger of Death, but not enough there, and can't really reach the Earthshaker, who is trying to find his way out of this one. Like I said, this is going to be the bigger part about the Naga Siren in this game right now. So, as I said, the Radiance build would have not been bad, especially if you think about, you got the Phantom Assassin against you, you got the Husker against you, burn them down on the side. well, you don't have to really worry about them just getting on, just hitting you all the time, because Husker has a lot of sustainability with his heal. You want to turn that off. You want to turn off the Phantom Assassin's evasion, which is a big part about that one as well. Macropyre comes out, the Phantom Assassin still in the fire, goes down in the fire, and Io's now alone there. Husker's trying to do more about this one right now. There's a good stun, Knife Pick goes on top of the Lion, and now there's the Fear on top of the Naga Siren. Naga Siren does not sustain that one, but takes on the Husker as well, so it's an even trade there. But still a bit of an awkward play there. Sniper is pretty much right now not in the position to do anything really, and I said I need to consider how to play this one out. You do see the PA is going to go for the Battle Fury now, which, I mean, at 13 minutes, going for the Battle Fury is a bit of a rough one. A lot still left till hitting the Battle Fury, because that's going to be the biggest part about that one, and you look at that one. Still even 450 away from the first broadsword, and you need a second one as well. So that's going to be a thought process. That's going to be interesting how it develops out further. And PA is just going on top of everything, trying to figure out how to get into a good position here. That Husker is in an interesting position. He does have the Berserker Blood, which sustains him quite nicely, but if you turn that off, he has a bit of a problem. Dragon Knight, I mean, it makes sense, kind of. They go on top of the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight has no chance whatsoever to get out of there, but even the Ice Path is a good one. Macropyre gets thrown out as well. Husker moves quite a bit through the Macropyre. They get on top of the Chakiro, and I think that's going to be the Chakiro gone here. They can't really pull the trigger here. There is now the Sniper here as well, so this is going to be a very interesting situation here. Silencer, I don't know why he's sitting in the brush. Gotta be on it. Well, not in the brush, in the trees, just sitting there around. Phantom Assassin, an interesting position. Husker sitting around as well, so this is not a good position to be in. Q gets immediate life break, throws out the Ice Path, gets a stun on top of the Dragon Knight comes around. Their Sniper's already dead. Husker goes around, Finger of Death comes out onto the Husker. Husker bites the dust. Io's trying to find a way out of this. Earth Spikes go on top of the Phantom Assassin. She falls, and Io's level 9. Why didn't I could have relocated there the Phantom Assassin out of that worry, and Silencer's still sitting in the trees. Earthshaker is trying to hold up as much as he can. The problem is he does have this Naga Siren who is just running rampant, let's be honest, with farm. Tower to top side goes down. As I said, the Naga Siren has her positioning right now in a good situation right now. Let's look at the last fight. Three went down on that team, but they did take down two. They took down 2 of the cores as well. 2 cores for 2 cores. Life break on the Naga Siren, and I'm not sure you want to do that if you're the Husker. Husker's taking quite a bit of damage already. It's not looking good for him. Gets hit quite a bit there. Still has to hit the life break, and they go for the silence now. The Siren is trying to play around this one. Oh, that was, unfortunately for him, not the real one in there. It goes down to that fight completely there. Husker is still alive there. Gets rooted up. There is now the Ice Path as well. Could go for a life break. Does not do that. Sniper picks up a double kill for that one. Akiro does burn to the ground in the end thanks to the Husker, but I mean, you take those. Phantom Assassin pretty far still away from that one. We do see now the Naga Siren is going for the Orchid of Malevolence, which is pretty wise choice, because I think if I remember correctly, the Orchid does turn off the Orchid, I think it silences the first part. It silences. If you go to the Bloodthorn, I think that turns off the brakes as well. We'll probably see it later in the game, but right now the Naga Siren is being very efficient with the farm, picking up some here, picking up the lane as well. So that's kind of what you really want to do if you're a Naga Siren. Sniper gets jumped, Firebreak comes out of there, stun on top of the Husker. This could be actually an opportunity, but there's the Io. The Io goes for a relocate, a weird position for the relocate there. Gets run into the Ice Path now, runs into the Ice Path, burns quite far down right now. Earthshaker is looking for an opportunity to get on top of something. Sniper's not looking pretty good. Macropire comes out of there. Sniper's still dodging through the trees, and Shaco kind of lost him there a bit. So now he gets on top of that one, gets through the ice path, and the Macropire are still burning him down. The tower is taking some shots as well. He's trying to find a way out. Finger of Death comes out of there, and Jakiro picks up that kill. Meanwhile, Naga Siren pushed in the mid lane completely for that one. And you see the huge CS lead, the last hit lead here. This is a major play right now. I think we're gonna swap over to the net worth. I mean, you can see, I think Dragon Knight holds up because he's pretty close into like kills. Yeah, he's 5 and 4. I mean, pretty nice, but he's holding up quite nicely with the Siren, which is a good position to be in. Let's be honest about that one. But you can see the difference. The Siren is hugely ahead. You can really see the Husker's trying to do what you kind of want your Husker to do in this game, really. You want your Husker to take over the mid game. Trying to create some havoc here, really giving your team a chance to win this game out, because Phantom Assassin's not even close. Aya's trying to do what he can, really, to give Husker a bigger chance, really. Husker goes in with a life break, gets the fire break as well, so that's going to be a good situation to be in there. And Lion knows that he does not have the survivability right now to get out of there. Phantom Assassin looking to farm. They want to take down this tower, which is a bit of an interesting choice, to be honest, about this one. And yeah, Sniper died there, but as I said, it's kind of like the interesting part about that one. Inner Fire it was, not Fire Break, Inner Fire. And Husker is roaming around quite a bit. He could run into 2 there. That could be an opportunity. Could be very interesting. Shakira and the Dragon Knight go on top of them. Macropire is throwing out of there as well. Husker is wise. Actually runs into the... jumps in with the life break into the Macropire. He's going to burn to the ground and goes down. Naga Siren now comes around here. Io is trapped in this one, and Io dies there, and Jakiro picks up a double kill. Meanwhile, Naga Siren just keeping up the pace she really wants to have. Sniper on Phantom Assassin. Sniper has not really picked himself into a good game, to be honest about that one. I don't know. I think Husker was the last pick. I'm not 100% sure right now if the Husker was the last pick or not. But if the Husker was the last pick, he counter-picked the Sniper quite nicely. I think Phantom Assassin was in the second phase. I think if I remember this game correctly, it was a pretty weird one where we had Jakiro, I think, first phase, and I was first phase, so that's why the Earthshaker's in the game. Pretty much sure about that one. Silencer can create a lot of problems as well, but yeah, we got now the Orchid on top of that one. Gives us a lot better to turn people off there. It gives a bit of mana as well, so that's a big opportunity as well. Io picks up a lot of bounties there. Io's kind of happy about that one. Has the Essence Distiller, which, I mean, can work quite nicely. Husker going for the BKB, the wisest choice you can really do in this game. Pick up the BKB, just get what you want. Husker is hovering around the spot where the Naga Siren is, so this could become very interesting. Husker finds the Naga Siren, jumps on top of her. Tries to get as much damage out, gets silenced up there, so he has no chance to get out of that one. And Naga Siren gets to live to tail the tail. And that's... Io gets caught out as well, so that's another position to be in where it's like, okay, what is going on here? Husker tried to beat the Naga Siren. I don't know why he thought he could just do that, but, well, he couldn't do it. That's the other part about it. Is that Sniper's not having a good game. Sniper is really not having a good game. He has to find some room to do something about this one. Meanwhile, the Naga Siren is just finding farm wherever you really need to do this right now. Silencer throws out the global, very surprisingly, actually. He was considering that line was the real one, I would say, if you look at how everything went down. And Naga Siren is just finding the farm further and further, and that's going to be part of this as well, really. Husker's not doing badly, but he is not finding the room he wants to have. 9 and 8 is not where you want to be. Phantom Assassin finds the the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight puts a lot of damage, and Husker goes in with the inner fire and the life break, and he's probably going to win this out right now because they're 2 versus 1, and there's not much you can really answer about that one. This is kind of the part where I'm like, okay, you found your room, really? You want to do more with this one? Completely about it, but at the same time, give the Naga just the room to keep up the pace, because that's going to be the funny part about it. Naga Siren is farming the Dire jungle. Meanwhile, the Dire team are farming most of the Radiant jungle, which makes a lot of sense with how the game developed up till now. You can see the lead is still pretty big. It's about 3,000 between the PA and the Naga. PA is not actually foregone the Desolator, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest, because you would normally want to have the Desolator, but the problem is with the Desolator, you're in a bit of a bad spot. Akira's in a bad spot right now as well. Husker is looking for the jump here. Goes for the life break immediately there. Gets stunned up. Ice Path as well, so he is not having a good time. There's the Naga Siren now coming in there. It's the silence on top of the Jakiro. A lot of damage to be put on top of this Husker. Husker goes down. There goes the Phantom Assassin now as well, and the Macropyre, and Naga Siren's still alive. They're going for some pressure there. Earthshaker does get a kill there, but Silencer is still alive. Earthshaker is holding on as much as he can, but the Naga is gonna likely put him into the ground. Triple kill for that one, and this is the other part about this whole game right now. The Naga Siren should be heavily countered by what the Shaker is putting out there, but the Shaker has not been finding the room to get on top of the Siren, and she is taking full advantage of this play right now. She is doing what she wants to do really right now, playing a bit out of everything and just picking up some more farm. It's up on the book. We did see in the last fight, I realized that I've been taking quite a bit of pressure here, so I'm going to go for the Heart of Tarask as the next item. Oh, Husker's jumping on top of the Sniper. He is in no man's land, to be honest about this one. Completely in no man's land and has to pay the price for this. Why the hell is the Io there? Io's playing an interesting game at this point. I can't really argue with this right now. You see the Naga Siren going for the Heart of Tarask, almost done as well already, so that's a big pickup because that's going to help her sustainability, not only just with herself, but her illusions as well. Big play about that one. He is slowly catching up. I mean, technically even the battle actually did pick up the Desolator, so that was just a ruse there, but next up, Black King Bar makes a lot of sense to pick up the BKB right now. You would minimize the damage the Lion really does. you minimize the Jakiro quite a bit because those guys have been standing in Macropyres quite a bit during the whole game. And then you kind of only have the Dragon Knight Sniper around. Oh, Finger of Death on top of the Silencer. Silencer's still holding on as much as he can. Freeze on top of that one, and Lion picks up the kill. Husker has to be careful. He's slowly falling. What the hell is the Shakiro's build, by the way? I just saw as a Dragon Lance and a Witchblade. Okay. Interesting choice. Not very supportive, and yeah, Lion is just doing Lion things, honestly. Got the Finger of Death. Got the Aghanim's and just has Tranquil Boots. Dude is vibing off what you really need here. You see the Shaker and the Phantom Assassin are not doing badly. They've been moving up, and you see that right now that they're ahead of the Dragon Knight. Now you see all three cores are right behind the Naga Siren, who has had a great farming game. Nothing about that. Nothing to say about that one. I had moments where I really farmed well with the illusions. I had moments where I really farmed badly with the illusions. Those are kind of points we can see further on in the game comes up multiple times kind of in this way. Phantom Assassin tries to farm the wave, but there are some illusions who are saying, no, you are not having time here. Meanwhile, Husker's just trying to farm out. The illusions are pushing in the tower. Just take off that tower, just simply as it is right now. And Phantom Assassin has to be very careful how she wants to play this one out, because Naga Siren, as I said, has a great position in this game right now. Finding the farm everywhere, just keeping on the pace. Honestly, right now the lead is mainly the Naga Siren, which is kind of funny. Oh, there's a fight breaking out there. Great ice path. Fissure doesn't answer the line immediately, but that's okay, I would say. Macropie comes out of there as well. Earthshaker comes in on top of that one. Takes down the lion. This could be a very interesting fight. The Dragon Knight is now in a bad spot right now. Husker is burning down. Meanwhile, gets frozen as well. Sniper gets out of there. Fissure hits the Sniper. Sniper goes invisible right now. Root on top of that one. The illusions are coming in from the Naga Siren. Naga Siren doesn't want to give Earthshaker an easy play here. That's a pickup there. Shaker is the next one on the list. Shaker's almost dropping down now. Gets rooted up as well. Ayo tries to find a way out of him and pulls the silencer out of dodge here. There's going to be a relocate back in there because that was the position where Ayo relocated out. Just going to die there. Ayo saved the silencer but has to bite the dust himself. And that means another 2 kills for the Siren, and there is quite a bit of damage. The Macropire did a bit more there, but it was a good fight for this Radiant team once again. And this is kind of right now the position where the Styre team is in right now. They need to stop the Siren from falling out of control, and the problem is Siren has full control here. Husker goes in from the back, jumps on top of this. There's now the song, pulls the song back because I think they wanted to fight this one. Shaker comes in with the jump there, gets on top of that one. Siren's still alive. Shaker goes with the Echo Slam. There's quite a bit of damage on top of Siren. Siren is once again stunned up there. They do take her down for once here, and that's probably their best choice right now, and that was a bit of a risky play, to be honest. Bit too much advantage taken there, and that's really going to benefit now the entire team. The Siren goes down, gives them a bit of room. Siren is working on the butterfly as the next option, which help out quite a bit because a lot of the hits are right now a bit of a problem for the Siren. EA is finally going to pick up that BKB. There's going to be another option to go about this one. Okay, I'm interested about that one. But yeah, I mean, basically I have bad luck with the neutral items here. Phantom Assassin jumps on top of this Dragon Knight, and he has no opportunity to get out of this one. Sniper TP's in there, not a good choice to TP in that position right now. Had to use the Shadow Blade to get out of that one. Siren still down for about 10 seconds, so that's another opportunity for them. Done. Husker wanted to go for the life break there, didn't get an opportunity. Smoke being popped. I don't know why you would pop the smoke there because you're already in enemy territory already, so it's like, eh. They're still hovering heavily around there. Shaker's not even close by, so that could be a bit of a problem. The Shaker's not there. The Shaker's right now the #1 counter for your Siren there. They're still hovering around this area. I don't know if you should slowly start to try pull out here, otherwise you could become in a really bad position. You see this is going completely around and around. The Shaker's finally there, so this could be now the opportunity to really pull something out of this one. So they are looking for the wraparound right now. You can see that really coming around. Ion Silencer is sitting up there. I don't know why they would do that. Siren just walks up top, just goes for a silence onto the Shaker. Shaker's not in a good position about that one. Husker jumps into the back line, completely trying to turn this fight around here, but there is the Macropie BKB is now being put out there. Sniper goes for the buyback. They go for the slam completely there. They went for a lot of damage there. There is still a bit of a movement going on here. There is this. The Siren's still alive here, and this is not the position you want to be in if you're the PA. PA gets sniped there now. I was trying to find a way out of this one, but there's no opportunity about this one. The Siren is on top of it. Goes for the TP here, but not enough to live through that. And once again, they picked a fight. TP out there from the Silencer, so it makes a lot of sense, but once again, you see the Siren putting up the effort, and enemy team are kind of running into the problem. They can't beat the Siren right now. They need the Echo Slam to get up on top of the Siren. That's something that's essential right now in this game. The lead has been slow. It has been melting down. It's only a 2k lead, and you can really see. I would say the funny part is it's not into the effort of the Siren, because the Siren is still 5,000 gold ahead of this team. Butterfly is almost done there, so that's going to be another opportunity here. The tower is probably going to fall to the illusions, it looks like right now. The illusions are doing actually quite a bit of work. Meanwhile, Husker is looking to find a push elsewhere. Is he even going? I think he's going for the Drag Knight immediately, which is a bit of an interesting choice about this one. Yeah, it looks like he wants to immediately jump on top of this Drag Knight, and I'm not too sure you would want to do that. Gets the inner fire, but he's still dropping quite nicely, and the Drag Knight is actually sustaining there. He does now pop the BKB. This could give him actually the opportunity to win this one, and it does. He did pop out as well as the Armlet, so bit of an interesting one. Butterfly now picked up by this Naga Siren. If we look at the item right now, you do have the Naga Siren, who has Butterfly, the Heart of Taras, the Manta Style, the Orchid. Gonna probably go into the Bloodthorn next. Meanwhile, Sniper, okay, has a Monier, Shadow Blade. The Arcane Boots are a bit of a weird one, and Mask of Madness. AC is pretty good. The Assault Cuirass on Drag Knight. Problem is just they're not finding the fight. Well, you see, Earthshaker, he wants to just cause some problems here, to be honest. Meanwhile, Husker, he's slowly falling off, I feel like, right now. Phantom Assassin has a good opportunity to get something out with that Satanic. That's going to be the next item on the list. Why are you doing this, Phantom Assassin? I have a question. Well, Husker is going risky. This is going to be very interesting. Relocate from the Aya there. Does have vision on top of them, but Husker is wanted to go for Roshan. Interesting play. I don't think that he actually can do that, by the way. Nope, he can't. I was not too sure. But I find the Aya plays some pretty interesting games with the relocate there. Relocates on top of that, puts the ward down. It's not getting cleared out, but at the same time, I'm like, eh. Oh, there's the Echo Slam, so that's out of the books, and he does take down the kill on top of this Drag Knight, who is being caught out pretty nicely, and you can now see the enemy team finally got into the lead here. Husker, however, jumps in there, fights now the Phantom Assassin, and I'm not too sure you really want to fight this Naga Siren. Naga Siren is getting on top of him, roots him up as well, and that's just him being taken out once again. This is the big problem that they're having right now. They are fighting off nicely most of the cores. The problem is there's one core they're not really getting their hands on, and that is the Naga. The Naga is right now 13-3-9 and is showing on top of the scoreboard, but you can really see there are some issues on this Radiant team right now. You got the 5-12. I mean, he has 16 assists, but still, it's not looking good. You got the Lion, who's holding up a bit, but he's a support. Jakiro as well. Jakiro's holding up quite nicely. Sniper, I mean, he has a bad matchup. That's something to keep in mind as well, but still, I wouldn't say this would be the play. Satanic now for the Phantom Assassin. I really don't get this idea of picking up a Butterfly next up. I feel like there could be better options than the Butterfly. Really, I feel like there's better options than the Butterfly. Because you got already the evasion, so that's going to be a part of it. I mean, I think even the Desolator is okay. I mean, you have 20 stacks. the UFC right now. There's the Bloodthorn for the Naga, just goes on. And you see how much damage these illusions are just doing on top of that one. Earthshaker jumps on top of there now, but has an issue. Husker's now in there as well. Still gets beaten down by these illusions, and this is the strength of the Siren. You don't want to fight right now. He just goes on top of you and says, okay, let's see how this one goes. Shaker had a good jump in there, but the Siren is just going ham. And there's not really much you can do that on this, right? On this dire team right now to fight this beast of a Siren right now. She has this lovely song that she's putting you in right now, and you can just see, if you look at the net worth, you see how much of a difference that is. You see that that every lane is behind on this team, except that this Naga Siren is just keeping up the pace here. And this is gonna be a weird situation about this one. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, yeah, we're in Herald territory, you know. You see that with that choice. And now Naga Siren is going on top of the Roshan. And Aegis is pretty nice, to be honest, for the Siren. Silencer's thinking of some option to stop down the Siren, and the option has become right now that Dragnite wanted to pick up the Aegis. I don't know why he wanted to do that, but the Aegis should be going on your carry, and that is, without a doubt, the Siren. There's nothing you can really stop. She just wants to farm, and she wants to have fun as well, so it's going to be a very rough situation here. Phantom Assassin gets on top of Shakira, takes a bit of damage, throws out the Ice Path. Dragonite comes in as well, gets the stun, and that's a lot of damage already on the Phantom Assassin. She dies before even the Naga comes into that fight. Phantom Assassin just overextended herself completely. Io already calls GG. I mean, it makes kind of sense. You got the Siren who's going heavy on this one. Didn't even do that much damage. I'm a bit surprised about that one. Husker jumps on top of that one, and that's another kill for the Siren. Siren just goes off on this one. There's going to be now the first Rax is completely gone. No opportunity whatsoever. Siren just goes into this one completely. And now the next tower is going to bite the dust. No opportunity to really stun this monster, this army of Nagas. That's going to be the next set of Rax. No questions asked whatsoever here. Akira is pushing in the tower. You see the 14k gold lead, and I mean, the sad part about it is a lot of it is just on the Siren. She just created so much havoc in this game. You see the gold difference, the damage. The damage was good from the whole team, let's be honest about that one. The rest of the teammates are going to go for the blood. Earthshaker jumps in there, tries to do something about that one. Siren checks a bit around, says hello to the Shaker just because of how the lane was. You pay the price for challenging the Siren, you go down. And GG. That was a 46-41 win for the Radiant team. 17k gold lead for the Radiant team as well. And I won 40 LP, 40 LP I'm saying, 40 MMR off that one. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!